Well, good evening, everybody, and welcome to graduation for this year, and a very warm welcome to our graduates. It's hard to believe that another year has passed and we are here for our second virtual graduation. These 18 months have turned our lives topsy-turvy, but today we celebrate you, our graduates. Most of you were on the front lines, caring for patients, all the while worrying whether you took COVID home to your families and loved ones. We celebrate your resiliency and adaptability, your ability to learn from in-person to virtual, back to didactics. We celebrate our teams who supported our graduates, and the numbers are too large to mention in this time. Medical education normally is very complex. The machinery that supports medical education is daunting. Throw in a pandemic and all bets are off. But of course, our HonorHealth family supported our graduates. And today we celebrate you and your families. We know that many of you slept in hotel rooms when you were on call. Many of you had babies, or your loved ones had babies. You were worried to go and meet your families, and you managed to take care of patients despite all of our extenuating circumstances. The entire human race was reminded that our destiny is dependent on others for the most part. And so today, welcome to our celebration of medical education of our HonorHealth family, but most importantly, our graduates. We are going to start with a video by Dr. John Neal. Dr. Neal is my boss, and he is such a staunch supporter of medical education. So without much ado, here's a message from Dr. Neal. And we can always be guaranteed for any virtual event that we do have some glitches. So as our teams are working to pull up Dr. Neal's message, we'll wait for a couple of seconds. Otherwise, I will invite our CEO, Mr. Todd Laporte, to give his speech. So Todd, welcome and thank you for your adaptability and resilience, just like our graduates. I want to just say a few words about Todd. One of the things that I have admired so much about our HonorHealth leadership team is that they lead by example. They have cried, they have such angst during the pandemic, especially during the surges, for the safety of our staff, our residents, and our frontline workers. They've spent innumerable hours really making sure that we were all cared for. And I'm so proud of the fact that I'm part of this family. So presenting Mr. Laporte.
Thank you, Priya. You know, I was complaining to her just moments ago about why do I have to follow Dr. John Neal again? He always upstages me. And you know what? Divine intervention made this happen, that I got to speak to you first. So congratulations, class of 2021. You know, you finished your program under unprecedented circumstances, right? This is now our second virtual graduation. We don't want it to be the new norm, but again, we're agile, we're doing what we have to do. So your class has lived through 2 academic years of the pandemic, so you are the poster children of agility, innovative learning, and caring in an environment of uncertainties and disrupted norms. You worked tirelessly for our patients during the brutal surges. You've consoled patients, families, and each other in the presence of new stresses and anxieties. But most of all, you experienced how important your skills in caring are depended on by your community. At times, you worked alone and learned alone, differently than classes before you. But you also learned the power of team and watching over each other. As information changed daily, you learned the value of accessing that information at the point of care. You learned the value of less visible teams, technology, program coordinators, cafeteria staff. As the pandemic impacted so many in our community, you worked with social workers, care coordinators to assess the social determinants of health so that we could care for those vulnerable and in need. You helped us mature in consideration of diversity, equity, and inclusion matters. While tragic, the pandemic came with a silver lining. It has taught you and our health system how precious well-being is. On behalf of an entire HonorHealth community, I'm so proud of you and all our residents, our fellows, faculty, program directors, and the entire academic affairs team, proud of the work and the sense of team. I know you will take your learnings and use them to continue your journey in your new jobs, your life experiences. Savor the moment and all you have endured and accomplished. My best.
Thank you, Todd. That was really wonderful. And thank you on behalf of our graduates for really having such a supportive health system. We saw in the news that not a lot of health systems actually put their residents first, and we're so happy that ours did. And now, if you have no glitches, take 2. Let's try John's message again. Here's Dr. John Neal.
Hi, this is Dr. John Neal. I'm the Executive Vice President, Chief Physician Executive, and Network Strategy Officer at HonorHealth. I'd like to thank Dr. Radhakrishnan for inviting me to speak at the Graduate Medical Education graduation ceremony. Every year I look forward to this. This is the second year in a row where we've been doing it in a virtual format, which of course makes us all a little sad because this is such an important, really celebratory event. So it's so nice to be able to do it in person. But very thankful to be asked to do it in this format. And as we've done throughout the course of the last 15 months, we'll do our best with the tools we have. I will try to keep it brief because I know all of us have spent too much time in various video conference formats over the past year, so I'm going to try to keep it as brief as possible. Really 3 main messages. The first real message is just thank you and congratulations. As much as anybody, at least in the history of modern medical education, the last year and a half of your graduate medical education has been sort of changed and disrupted and altered in ways that none of us could have predicted. And I haven't witnessed it really firsthand that much, but I've just consistently heard from your faculty, from your mentors, from Dr. Radhakrishnan, how adaptable you all have been to try to make the best of the situation. And so congratulations on that. And thank you, because during the course of that, you've also provided just tremendous patient care service to our patients in a time of tremendous need. You've provided tremendous support for each other, for staff that you work with. And really, it's been through that collegiality and that teamwork and that support that our teams have been able to make it through this. And you all have been a really important part of that. So thank you for that. The second point I wanted to touch on was just a reminder about self-care. Over the past year and a half, you knew when you were going into healthcare, you were going to do something hard. You knew you were going to do something that was intellectually taxing and sometimes emotionally taxing. But what you've dealt with in the past year and a half is really unlike anything that I've seen in my 2.5 decades of being a physician. When you're early in your career, it's not unusual that you sort of think you wear a cape of invincibility. And sometimes you do feel that way, but you don't. And it's important that in addition to spending countless hours caring for others, spending countless hours, I'm sure, reassuring friends and family, that you spend a little bit of time thinking about yourself and thinking about what you really need. You've been through a lot. You're going to continue to go through a lot as your career goes on, and we all know the statistics on what people call burnout amongst caregivers. And the only way that we can really start to combat that starts with ourselves and starts with a willingness to be aware of what we're going through and to be willing to seek help. And whether it be at HonorHealth through our Care for the Caregiver program or at your next landing spot, just be sure to periodically check in with yourself. And if you need help, don't be afraid to reach out and ask for it. The third point I wanted to touch on as you transition, whether you're going to a fellowship program or perhaps to your first job following a residency or a fellowship, is to just spend a little bit of time thinking about kind of what your personal strategy really is. What are your personal values, and how are you, at the end of the day, really going to align how you spend your time with your personal strategy? Because if it's just your strategy is not what you say it is, ultimately it's what you do. And I think a lot of us say we have a personal strategy. Oh, I want to be a really good doctor and do the best for my patients. I want to be a great father, partner, brother, son, whatever it might be. I want to be a great friend. I want to be great in the community. I want to work on things that I really do. But what happens to so many of us as we come out of training is we get immersed in our professional career, and we've worked really hard to get to that point. And in so many instances, kind of the return on investment in your professional life is oftentimes quicker. It's more tangible than what you might get in your personal life or in your maybe your service-oriented pursuits. And so it's very easy to forget those other aspects of who you say you are, or who you say you want to be. And I would just encourage you to allocate your resources, and time is your most important resource, in parallel with what you say your personal strategy and values are. And don't make the mistake, and I've made the mistake. I made the mistake earlier in my career where I said I had all these values and this big strategy about how I wanted to live, but what I did was I worked all the time, and it cost me some things. And so, look, it's something we all have to keep in check. We're highly motivated people. It's in many cases how we're wired. But I would just encourage you to really intentionally think about that now, because it's a good checkpoint, and continue on a periodic basis to just ask yourself that question. So in closing, I wanted to say congratulations. I wanted to say thank you. Really encourage you to take care of yourself and to just check in and make sure that you perhaps aren't in need of some self-care based on what you've gone through over the past year and a half. And finally, to really start thinking about how you're going to allocate your resources, most specifically your time, to be in alignment with who you want to be as an individual. So congratulations and thank you.
That was a wonderful message from Dr. Neil. Thank you, John, again, for all you do for our health system. And now it is my incredible pleasure to introduce Dr. Paige McCleary, who is our chairperson for the House Staff Leadership Council. The House Staff Leadership Council provides a lot of support to the graduate medical education machinery. And as chairperson, Paige has worked tirelessly to make sure that the resident and fellows' voices are heard and any issues are escalated so that we continue to support our residents and fellows as they partner with us during their journey of graduate medical education. And so here's over to Paige, and hopefully you won't have to hear my voice more as her video plays.
Good evening, everyone. As your HLC chair, it has been an honor and privilege to represent my resident and fellow colleagues during an unprecedented time in our history. My grandmother, she used to have a saying whenever my sister and I were injured. She'd rub our little boo-boos, and she would say, "Sana sana colita de rana, si no sanas hoy, sanarás mañana," which loosely translates to heal, heal, little tail of the frog, stuff. More importantly, if you do not heal today, you will heal tomorrow, which, reflecting on our own year, we have persevered through a pandemic, political upheaval, racial inequities, almost everything, you name it, and we bore the weight of it all. It was heavy, it was placed on our shoulders, but we have displayed our own mental and physical fortitude. And I am proud to have led such a fine group of physicians, and I look forward to our future. Remember, most importantly, if you don't heal today, you will heal tomorrow. So thank you, residents and fellows, for all of your time. Special thanks to Shantoy Jackson, who has been our HLC rock, my rock. I'd be lost without you, you know it. And thank you, Academic Affairs, for always keeping us within the ACGME regulations, and we will finish those surveys eventually within our lifetime. And thank you, Dr. Radhakrishnan and Dr. Kagowitz, for your leadership and dedication to our well-being throughout all of this. And it goes without saying, thank you to all of our loved ones for being our support in these troubled times. Best of luck to all of the residents and my fellow graduates, and good luck in your future endeavors.
Thank you, Paige. And again, a huge thanks to our House Staff Council. And now we start the roll call for our graduates. Our first program is our dermatology program, the class of 2021. And I want to congratulate Dr. Mullen for completing her dermatology residency program. And here is a short message from Dr. Jason Barr, who is our dermatology program director. Congratulations, Heidi.
Dr. Heidi Mullen, allow me to congratulate you on behalf of the faculty on completion of your dermatology residency. This is quite an impressive achievement, especially given your young family at home. One image I'll never forget is you wheeling around clinic on a scooter with a broken foot. It's very impressive. We want to thank you for your contributions to the residency program along the years, especially this past year as chief. It's much appreciated. On behalf of the faculty, we are all very proud of the confident and compassionate physician that you've become. While this is an important milestone in your career, we want to remind you that this is not the end of a journey, but rather the beginning of a lifelong commitment to continued learning. So again, on behalf of everyone at Affiliated Dermatology, congratulations.
Thank you, Dr. Barr. We really are so appreciative of all our program directors. And now we move to Family Medicine class of 2021. And our graduates are Dr. Kimberly Ariza, Dr. Monica Chong, Dr. Matthew Andrezzi, Dr. Ashley Dyer Giaquinto, Dr. Haley Golick, Dr. Xiao Kristen Liang, Dr. Yiwen Richard Liang, Dr. Rachel Najad, and Dr. Jennifer Perry. Congratulations, Family Medicine graduates. And here is a short message from our program director for our Family Medicine residency, Dr. Cindy Kegowitz.
Good evening to all of our HonorHealth graduates. I want to first say that I really hope we can do this in person next year. It's been an extraordinary year and a half for all of you. But please remember and celebrate all of the hard work, perseverance, and the demonstration of incredible teamwork throughout your training at HonorHealth. The HonorHealth GME programs continue to grow and thrive and impact patients as well as the community. And remember that each of you are a strong part of that success. For my family medicine graduates, I know we'll have the opportunity to celebrate together in about a week and a half, but I want you to know I feel truly blessed and honored to have each of you as part of our HonorHealth family and to call you fellow family medicine colleagues. The compassion, strength, and pure grit that each of you have shown throughout your training is inspiring and is something that you and your families should be incredibly proud of. Please always try and remember the patient stories and the patient thank yous, and always look for a sense of connection with your patients. Through challenging times in your career and practice, that will help to keep your passion for medicine alive. I'm incredibly proud of each of you. Congratulations.
Our family medicine residency program is the oldest residency program at HonorHealth, and our faculty, our program director, and graduates have really helped stood up all of the other programs. So a big, big thank you and kudos. Also, now it's my pleasure to introduce the internal medicine class of 2021. I have a special place in my heart for internal medicine, and I'm sorry, rest of the graduates. I was their interim program director. This particular class is very special. They did have a lot of change during their residency program, but I hope that you were supported by the HonorHealth family. It is my pleasure to present Dr. Martin Joseph, Dr. Paige McCleary, Dr. Ann Nguyen, Dr. Jackie O'Neill, Dr. Lydia Toronto, and Dr. Jonathan Theriot. Congratulations and welcome, class of 2021, Internal Medicine. And here is a message from Dr. Dana Saul, their program director.
Hi, graduates. It's Dr. Saul, and for those of you who don't know who I am the Internal Medicine Program Director. I'm not an intern like Dr. An Nguyen thought on my first day there. I'll take it. I'm so proud of really all of you. What a big step and milestone as you think about completing kind of the almost penultimate stage of your training, or ultimate if you're heading out into practice, and what a huge accomplishment that is. I'll just give a quick shout out to my internal medicine graduates. There's so much that I want to say, and I've been putting off this message because I don't want the waterworks to start. I guess I'll save that for our graduation together. But I just hope you know how proud I am of you and inspired I am by you. I think you've had a new program director every single year that you've been here. You became R3 senior residents and finished up your R2 senior year in the midst of a pandemic, where everything was disrupted. And you've been such leaders and so empathetic and such confidants for the rest of the residents in the program. And importantly for me too, you welcomed me immediately like a family member. And that's what I love about this program. And so as I think about you heading out into the world where you're going to be with other patients and learners and colleagues, I'm just so excited to see what you're going to do. You're so ready. You are a wonderful group of humans who care about each other and about your patients and about community. And I know you're going to do such amazing things. I hope you know my door is always open to you. I'm glad some of you are staying in the area. And I just wish you the absolute best.
Dr. Saul does look like an intern, and I will confess that when I see her and run into her in the hospital, I have to look twice to make sure it is indeed the program director. Now it is my pleasure to introduce to you General Surgery Class of 2021, and our graduates, Dr. Ali Abidali, Dr. Josiah Wagler, and Dr. Whitney Wilson. Congratulations to the General Surgery class, and here is a message from Dr. Alicia Mangrum, their program director.
Hi, graduation class of 2021. I'm Dr. Mangrum. I'm the General Surgery Program Director. Oh my goodness, you've all really just come so far. It's been a great year, or a not so great year. You know me, the cup is half full. So it's been a great adventure, a lot of learning, some sadness, some times where we had to reflect, etc. But we've learned a lot, and we've learned that we can survive a pandemic, and we have survived, and you all have done well, and you are the backbone of what we've done. When I hear the word brave and healthcare worker, I don't think people recognize the magnitude of what the residents do. So congratulations to you all. Very happy that we're all alive and that we all survived. And I pray for the families of those that didn't make it through this pandemic. But we're here today in celebration, and so I'm here to celebrate all the residents, but in particular, I want to celebrate my residents. I want to celebrate the general surgery residency program as a whole, and then the residents that are graduating. So we have 3 residents that are graduating this year. We have Whitney Wilson, we have Ali Abadali, and we have Josiah Wagler. I can't tell you, I don't want to brag on them too much. I'm just going to tell you the truth. They have worked so hard. They know we went out to dinner about 6 months ago or 4 months ago, just to tell them how proud I am of what they've done in this pandemic and how they worked tirelessly and how they didn't try to put away any of their responsibility and how they actually accepted more responsibilities. I'm proud of their families. I'm proud of their families that stood by them, that gave them an opportunity and helped encourage them to go out in the midst of what I'm sure all of us had fear. I'm only holding my N95 because I encouraged them every day from the day this pandemic started. Keep that N95 mask with you. Do not lose that. I have the greatest confidence that the 3 of you all will go out and be amazing surgeons. I would let any of the 3 of you take care of me if I'm ever in the hospital one day and I look up and see your face. I won't go like, oh no, is that who? I'll be like, oh great, one of my residents is here. So just briefly, I don't want to take up much time because we're going to have a great celebration tomorrow night. Briefly, Whitney Wilson is going to be going off to Florida, where she will be doing a surgical critical care fellowship. Of course, she knows that makes me extra proud because I did a surgical critical care fellowship. And there's a special place for people like us that like to take care of really, really, really sick people. I also want to just, and Whitney, you've done amazing. I've watched you grow, I've watched you blossom, and there's only great things in store ahead of you. And then Ali Abadali, Ali, you've done a great job as well. Again, there'll be more to say at our own dinner tomorrow night. But Ali, the growth that I've seen in you is just amazing. It's almost like a parent watching her son grow, and how you've just matured and you took charge and you grabbed everything by the reins. And in this pandemic, you never let the hospital go uncovered, and you never not volunteered yourself. The 3 of you all have said, I'll help out. And Ali, I'm very proud of you. You're going into transplant surgery, and this is the great Ohio State, something Ohio State. But anyway, you'll be in Ohio. And so congratulations that you're doing the transplant surgery fellowship. And then Josiah, words can't say enough. Your presence, your prayer life, your ability to be very honest with yourself and me, and you and I have had shared some wonderful moments together, as I have with all of you. But very proud of you. And Josiah's going on to do a transplant fellowship here at Mayo, so he'll still be here. And all your families, and especially Josiah, your family, your wife who supported you through all this. So I'm going to stop there. I just wanted to say congratulations, Whitney. Congratulations, Ali. Congratulations, Josiah. Congratulations to all the residents in this program. You've all done well. You've all done great. And I always say you got to pat yourself on the back first. So you all deserve to pat yourselves on the back. Be proud of yourselves. And I wish you the very best. And God bless us. And thank you that we all made it through this pandemic.
Thank you, Dr. Mangrum. The residency, as well as the faculty and the program directors, all have supported our residents incredibly well. And now we move to our addiction medicine fellow, class of 2021, Dr. Angela Williams. Our addiction medicine fellowship was started quite like the next fellowship that I will announce, the hospice and palliative care, to really support the need of our community. And I want to congratulate Dr. Williams. And here is a message from Dr. Michael Sucher, the Addiction Medicine Program Director.
Angelo, I want to congratulate you on completing the Addiction Medicine Fellowship with HonorHealth and Community Bridges. You've been an absolutely excellent fellow, eager to learn, asking questions, and I've watched you grow immensely over the past year. I really want to wish you the best of luck with your future career. I know you're going to do great, and again, I just want to give you my most heartfelt congratulations on behalf of myself and the entire fellowship faculty and team. So again, congrats and best wishes.
Thank you, Dr. Sucher. And last but definitely not the least, and the first graduating fellow of our hospice and palliative care program, Dr. Sarah Salama. And here's a message from Dr. Derek Thompson. Off to you, Derek.
Hi, I'm Dr. Derek Thompson. I'm the Fellowship Director for the HonorHealth Hospice and Palliative Medicine Fellowship Program, and I'm so happy to be here today. This is a very special day for our program, this being the first year of the HonorHealth Hospice and Palliative Medicine Fellowship, and a special day also for Dr. Sarah Salama, most especially, who is the very first graduate of our fellowship program. It's been an interesting and challenging year, to say the least, particularly in the field of palliative medicine during this global pandemic, when we've been dealing with so much in the way of serious illness and critical illness and end-of-life discussions and supporting patients who have been isolated from their families here in the hospital and families at home who've been separated from their loved ones who are sick, and also for our staff here, nurses and therapists and social workers and case managers who have been doing their best to support patients and families in this difficult time. Dr. Salama joined us in July of last year, really at the height of the first surge of the pandemic that we saw here, and jumped right in, and really a natural in terms of her ability to offer expertise and empathy to patients and families. A little bit different year in that a lot of our care and a lot of our interaction with the families was over the phone and FaceTime rather than doing in-person family meetings as we would typically do. So it really took some extra special effort on her part to support everyone during this difficult time. This past year really highlighted the need for palliative care. And so, while it was challenging in terms of, being able to meet with families and talk with families, really some, big opportunities, to provide support, not only to patients and families, but also to staff, and really helping them learn more about end-of-life care, helping them through the fatigue and through the emotions and even through some of the moral distress that some of them were experiencing. So, very difficult year to train in palliative care, but, I'm hoping that, all this experience that you've been able to have this past year, Sarah, is going to help you moving forward in your career. Just very proud of the work that you've done this year. And, you've been such a great member of our team, and, just a great support to our patients and families and members of the palliative care team around the network. Very glad that you're going to be staying here working at HonorHealth as you continue your work at John C. Lincoln Hospital as a hospitalist, hoping that you're going to be able to bring some of this experience and some of this expertise to your colleagues and to your patients in your work as a hospitalist. Very proud to call you a colleague in the field of hospice and palliative medicine. Also want to, this being our first graduation, I want to make sure that I say thank you to Dr. Radhakrishnan and the whole team in academic affairs. Special thank you to our program coordinator, Dr. Rosa Moran, and to palliative care faculty, most especially Dr. Kunkel, and to all the members of the palliative care teams. Also, thank you to Hospice of the Valley for all the support that they've given to our fellowship. Thank you so much, and congratulations.
And now we come to the fun part of our ceremony. But before that, again, my sincere thanks to all of the program directors, our faculty, staff, and the residents, their families. It takes a village to support graduate medical education. Now we move to the award section, and that is the favorite part of the evening for me. So we start with our first award, which is the Primary Care Scholarship, the Silverman Primary Care Scholarship. We are extraordinarily grateful to the Silverman family for their commitment and support of the scholarship for primary care. Our awardees are Dr. Ashley Dyer Giaquinto, as well as Dr. Haley Golick, both of whom are going to practice primary care in our community. COVID-19 has just shown us how important preventive medicine is and how important it is for primary care in our community. So I present to you the Primary Care Scholarship awardees. Our next award really goes to recognize residents who have made significant impact on the HonorHealth Quality and Patient Safety Program. HonorHealth subscribes to what we call the learning health system, where we use every opportunity, whether it's an error or a problem with our health system, a way that our health system or results are sent. It really recognizes all of our residents who've put in inordinate amounts of time to really fix our healthcare system. And so our awardees for our Patient Safety Award, the first is Dr. Gordon, who is from our Family Medicine Residency Program. Dr. Gordon serves as the Resident Patient Safety and Quality Champion. She has taken on the rollout of the Vaccine Safety Advocate and has actively contributed to event analysis and education. And she has done a lot of work, including preventive care such as pap smears and making sure that patients get their pap smears in a timely manner. She has also worked on the curriculum on educating residents about HonorHealth initiatives and implements new processes for her program. Congratulations, Dr. Gordon. Our next award is our Leadership Award. COVID-19 has shown us the importance of leadership, all the way from the top to the frontline workers. And without doubt, we know that it is important for us to trust our leaders. This Leadership Award recognizes residents who have demonstrated significant leadership on team-based projects. And our awardee is Dr. Jennifer Perry. Dr. Perry spearheaded a creative and thoughtful improvement project where she teamed with colleagues, staff, and the leadership of the clinic to screen women for domestic violence and connect them with resources. She has also been instrumental in our efforts to ensure that we have a diverse, inclusive, and equitable workplace. And she has done a lot of work during Black History Month. Congratulations, Dr. Perry. Our Excellence in Patient-Centered Care recognizes residents who have consistently received exceptional patient satisfaction scores. Medicine is hard to practice, and when people are hurting, they don't always demonstrate their best behaviors. And when people are hurting, is the time when they need the most empathy. The residents who have won this award have really demonstrated a warm and an empathetic connection with their patients. Our first awardee is Dr. Ashley Dyer Giaquinto. She has demonstrated connection with the diverse group of patients during her diabetic group visits. These patients trust her recommendations, and as a result of this, not only really appreciated the doctor, but also had wonderful outcomes such as weight loss and improvement in their diabetes care. Our next awardee for our excellence in patient-centered care is Dr. Jonathan Theriot. Jonathan has some of the patients who have significantly challenging medical problems. His calm demeanor and his can-do attitude really displays a partnership with patients so that they get exceptional care. I'm sure all our patients that our residents followed will miss them, but special congratulations for these two physicians who have gone above and beyond to care for their patients. Congratulations again. Medicine is all about scholarship, and being a community-based program, we are exceptionally keen on making sure that our residents have the opportunity to publish, to really follow that spirit of inquiry. And our next award recognizes residents who have gone above and beyond. It is my incredible pleasure to announce that Dr. Whitney Wilson from our general surgery program has been awarded the Outstanding Scholar. She has a long history of scholarship excellence, right from her medical school and her first-year residency to most recently her outstanding oral presentation at Academic Excellence Day. Dr. Wilson has co-authored several peer-reviewed journals, presented posters, and has spoken on multiple residency panels. She has also been a past chair of our House Staff Leadership Council. Congratulations, Whitney. And now it's my pleasure to move to our faculty awards. Our Excellence in Teaching Award recognizes faculty who have really shown talent and interest in medical education, balancing the needs of patient care, all the while sustaining that spirit of inquiry and making sure that the residents learn during every encounter is a special, special talent. This year's award goes to Dr. Hashimoto, who is also the Associate Program Director for our General Surgery Program. Dr. Hashimoto is a physician who is really committed to clinical excellence and puts in his 100% on resident teaching. Congratulations, Dr. Hashimoto. And now we move to our Faculty Award for Quality and Patient Safety. Our faculty are really important in helping our residents identify projects as well as making sure that they have the support for inquiry into their projects. Dr. Turner is the winner of this award. She has spearheaded work in diversity, equity, and inclusion. She has shown that how important leadership, faculty leadership is in having difficult conversations. As our country swirls with these conversations, she has shown grace, spirit, and that spirit of inquiry. In addition, she has, along with other faculty members, been awarded grants in telemedicine and healthcare disparities. Congratulations and thank you for your work, Dr. Turner. And last but not the least is the Eye Care Excellence Award. So we go by the eye care values at HonorHealth. Eye care stands for really the spirit of innovation, inquiry, empathy, respect, and accountability. And it shows the importance of collaboration. The last 18 months have been incredibly hard particularly for staff as we moved from our office spaces into our homes, all the while making sure that the machinery of graduate medical education was supported. Overnight, it seemed that they went from working within their offices to working from home. At the same time, making sure that the accreditation was taken care of. We have now 11 residency and fellowship programs. And our strong but small and mighty team really made sure that we continued to demonstrate excellence in medical education as required by our accreditation council. Our librarians went above and beyond to make sure that our residents, staff, and faculty had materials and were able to access virtual materials. Our continuing medical education staff worked hard to make sure that grand rounds and medical education seminars were ongoing. And our staff who works on contracting, on student, on orientation, placement, all of this seemed to work like clockwork. And it is my pleasure to introduce the awardees. It's a long list, so bear with me. It's the academic affairs staff who have been awarded the Eye Care Award. Thank you to Dr. Kegowitz, Sally Figueroa, Dr. Essery, Leah Plush, Deb Schneider, Denise Gullickson, Carol Mayer, Janie Phelps, Diane Romo, Kiana Statsny, Shantoy Jackson, Kerry Hubble, and Haneen O'Day. Thank you so much. And actually, we have one more award, and that's our Honorary Fellow Award. And this award recognizes an administrator who has contributed to residency education. And our awardee is Vicky Francis, who is our coordinator from our general surgery program. Vicky has worked at HonorHealth for 22 years, so big shout out to Vicky. Not only is she responsible for the general surgery accreditation, but this last year, despite having to juggle several other issues, she helped us with accreditation for our surgical critical care program. And she has been instrumental in making sure that all of the work in general surgery continues. She's always extraordinarily pleasant, and it's a big shout out to Vicky's dressing style as well. She puts us all to shame. So congratulations, Vicky. And with that, we come to the end of our graduation. I cannot tell you how sad I am that we are not at our big party and that we're not going out now to dance, because you all know that I love to dance. But as we come to the end of this evening, I want to thank Diane Romo, Carol Mayer, and J2 Media, as well as our IT teams and marketing teams, Kara Green, for supporting this event. All virtual events have to have a glitch, so we did that checkbox. A big shout out and congratulations to our graduates. This year has been hard, but you guys have done such an amazing job, and your journey is just beginning. God knows that I never had education through a pandemic. You can tell the story for your grandchildren, great-grandchildren, and say, when I trained, as many of our grandparents are prone to do so. I want to give a big shout out to our families, husbands and wives, mothers, grandparents, and children who have really supported our residents and fellows. And I want to give a big shout out to my own mom. Her name is Leela Radhakrishnan. She lives in India. I have not seen her for 18 months, but she really portrays what it is to be human and just being so awesome. So big shout out to you, Mom. I'm going to end with some words by Rabindranath Tagore. Tagore was a poet. He was a Nobel Prize winner from India. And I'm going to recite some lines of his poem. They were really, really relevant in 1910. They're relevant today as well. Where the mind is without fear and the head is held high, where knowledge is free, where the world has not been broken up into fragments by narrow domestic walls, where words come out from the depth of truth, where tireless striving stretches its arms towards perfection, where the clear stream of reason has not lost its way into the dreary desert sand of dead habit, where the mind is led forward by thee into ever-widening thought and action, into that heaven of freedom, my Father, let my country awake. And with that, thank you, congratulations, and I have no doubts, class of 2021, that you will go ahead and do wonderful things. Have a good night.